Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's your weekly installment of Diesel Down Under and working on more junk. So this week I'm going to play around with another truck I've got. You guys haven't really seen it. I've sort of shown it in a video once or twice or driving past it, but haven't done a video on it yet. So yeah, we're still waiting on the power steering pump for the Kenworth. The shaft was pretty mangled apparently, so they're getting it re-chromed because it's an obsolete part or something like that. So I'm not going to see it till next week, it sounds like. So I've almost done all the airbags, and I've ordered 4 new shockers for the back, so they're on their way, and I'll be able to fit them. But I've done airbags last 2 weeks in a row pretty much, so it's not very exciting. So this week I want a bit of action again and work on something that's been sitting here for a little while, but I'll roll the footage for you guys of when we picked it up. Well, I've done it again. I'm here to pick up another W model. Sick.
Can you steer that way? There to me.
of course, if I buy one, I got to buy two. So this one's coming home as well. Got an 871N in it. It's a Seattle built as well. Don't know a great deal about it, but we'll winch her up and see how we go. We've got that one up the top deck. Just have to sort this out. It's Peterbilt 351 maybe, needle nose. Just might be able to work out a deal, we'll see. So we're all loaded up. I did record dragging that. Well, thought I recorded, obviously didn't press the button too well, but we got that Cabover dragged up and straps over the tank and chains holding it on. Got the W model up the front. So yeah, we'll be on our way. We've got about 3.5 hours home or something like that, so probably get Friday traffic. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Should be good. They both got 871s. I think they both have Jakes. So, but we'll have a good look when we get home. We're loaded up, so that's all the other stuff in the yard, the peat and Atkins, some of the gardener. There's another W model over the back there, and the Mac. Well, that's it for today. Stuart's on his way home. So we've got them here. Now I just have to see if they'll go. Hopefully this one goes. It's got the turbo off it, so I'm not sure what the go is there, but I'm going to open the bonnet before I go home because I won't be able to sleep. This one, no idea what I'm going to do with it. Might just give it a little bit of a tidy up. I'm not going to keep this one, I know that, because cabovers aren't my thing, but it'd make a good little single drive for a show truck maybe, or like with a lot of work, but it'd be good for truck shows, so someone could pull a little caravan or little semi round to sleep on it in it. So we'll see. I'll take another video when I got the bonnet over, when we pick both of them up, but we'll start with this one. So here it is. It's a Seattle Kenworth. I'm not sure what model. There's no plate or anything on it. There's a chassis number which I'll show you, but I think it's a early 70s, around a 70 or a 69 or something like that. It's got a natural 8V71 in it, non-power steering, not even hydraulic assist, single drive. Someone's started a resto at some point, I'd say a long time ago, because it's stripped pretty bare, so there's not much left on it really, apart it's just a rolling chassis and engine and driveline, but all the bolt-ons and everything are really they're not there. So then you can get a good look at the engine, but yeah, so I have no idea about it. I don't even know what gearbox is in it, don't know what diff. I pretty much just brought it because it was there where I bought this W model, which you would have just seen being unloaded from the truck. And this has an 871T in it. This is also a Seattle, high door handles. This is 69 or 70. I'll confirm these. I gotta go back and look at the chassis numbers. I don't quite remember what year they are, because it's been a few months since I dropped them off here. But we're going to go drag the cab over to the shed, and then we'll come back to this one and revisit it, and I'll give you a bit of a walk around. But I can't quite do a will it start on this yet, because and it needs a little bit more work than a spare day. So we'll drag this cab over to the shed so I can work on it, and hopefully we can get it to go. Look at the short little thing. It's so tiny. I'm gonna have to get in and steer now. There she is, still here, still getting work done. But I originally bought this one, well, I never actually bought this one. I bought the grey W model at an auction, and then I showed up and I knew this one was sitting there, and I had a look at it, and he said if I gave him $4,000 I could take it. So I basically just bought it for the engine, in case the engine in the W model was no good, and so I could keep it 871. But it's missing all the grille surround, the bug, everything inside pretty much. It's got a couple of good gauges I can steal. Decent speedo, but it's been pretty stripped in here. There's not got a nice like old school pearl type wheel. That's cool. But yeah, so I just want to see if it runs for a start. I don't know if I really only bought it for the engine, so I don't know if I'll get my money back if I was to keep the engine and sell the truck. So this might stay here and become, I don't know, a toy. It's probably missing too many bits for a full-on restore, so I might get a big motor in it. I think it'd be pretty cool to have like a 1292 or something shoved under it in a little single drive truck. It'd make a good, I don't know, race truck or skid truck or something, but that's about all I'd do with it, I reckon. So yeah, but this is, I'm gonna see if I can get it going, and then the next step will be to get the grey one going, but I'll give you a look at that grey one too before we get started here. Now we've got it in the shed. First thing to do is get the cab over. So it's got cab jack rams, but there's no cab jack itself. So it's just Telstra roped down at the back. So I'll cut that rope and then I'll hook the forklift on somewhere there with the jib and lift it over slowly and hope it doesn't fall over forwards. And then I can get the rocker covers off, check the injectors. I've got to put a starter motor on it. I'm hoping the one off the 692 will fit because I've got a spare one. So I will, yeah, if I don't have a starter motor, it'll ruin the whole plan. But yeah, we'll start with getting the cab over, I reckon. So I'll get the forklift in here and hook it up so I can get cab over. I got the cab over. I didn't quite trust those rams, so I've got to come along on the step to a bracket down there just to stop it from going right over in case those rams break or something stupid. Here's the first look at the motor. It looks like it's got Jakes, which is always good for me. It's got the brain fade. It's got the switch up there for the Jakes and the governor. It'll come to me what it's called. But yeah, we're gonna pull these rocker covers off and just have a look under them, and then if it looks all right under there, we'll see if this starter motor fits. So it's got oil, looks okay. I'll drop the drain plug and make sure there's no water sitting in the bottom of the sump before I do go to start it, or turn it over. This one has the big emergency shut-off flap here, so that's what this solenoid is here. If it was to run away, this flap would snap shut and starve the engine of air. So it was a sort of emergency shut-off feature. Sometimes when people can't get them going, they don't realise that the blowers snap shut the emergency flap. So we'll check that that's open. The intake's been blocked off with some crappy rag, so that's good. But oh, look at that. They've got the oil fill plumbed into the breather on this side. Interesting. I don't know if they're meant to be like that. Seems, I wouldn't have thought so. Oh yeah, I see a Jake solenoid down there. You probably can't see, it's a bit dark, but there is one down there. I also think this little symbol, I think they refer to these as dog bone heads or something, because that obviously looks a bit like a bone. I think it means there's, I'll try and find a photo. On the underside of the head, there's that cutout. I don't know if it's in between the valves or in between each cylinder. I think it was, I don't know if it was to try and eliminate them cracking heads, or if it was an early design that caused heads to crack. I'm not sure, but I have been told about them once before, so I'll have to do some research and see if I can find out what they mean exactly. And then I don't know, oh yeah, this one's got one too. Yeah, that's got one too. Oh, made a mess. I forgot that was hanging there. That's just that would have gone to the cab jack. That's where that's from. Alrighty, I shall do some stuff. Oh well, what will I do first? I might pull the rocker covers first, make sure everything's alright under there, then we can mess with the starter motor. I forgot to mention, it's also missing the air compressor, so that's been open to the elements, so that could have let a bit of water in the engine at some point. But under this rocker cover, I'm quite impressed. That's really looking quite clean for this side anyway. Can't see anything wrong yet. Everything looks to be in decent shape. So if some of you guys watched my video getting the 692 going, that actually has spring-loaded, like, I don't know what you call these, rack arms. So if one injector's stuck, the rest of the rack will still function, but all these are fixed to the rack rod, and if one injector hangs up, then all four of them on this side are stuck. Like on the 692, you could grab that and it would still move, even if all of these could stay stationary and that would still move. But on this, there's no movement at all. So right now, all of those injectors would be on full throttle. So if you started this, it would run away 100%, because there's no way that would move. That's if it even started. It may not start, because you can see that that's my finger fitting between the rocker and the injector plunger. So yeah, we're obviously going to have to free them up. They got N70 injectors in them. So I don't know. I'm not up with all the N70. I know there's N70, N75, stuff like that. But these N70s, I'll have a look in the book and see what that means. But yeah, I'll go pull the other side off. It's all looking pretty good under this side too. So I don't think as many injectors will be stuck on this side, maybe one or two. Looks like we're getting a little bit of movement of the rack. So yeah, it's not too bad. I'm happy it's got Jakes. That's always a bonus. It's hard to find these 71 series rocker bridges, so that's good. I don't think I see anything bad yet. We will I'll check it turns over, but I think it will. I'm not too... The only thing that's open is the exhaust, and that wasn't facing up like that. It was sitting down in the battery box on an angle, so it would had to have had a lot of water in there to ever get enough to fill up the exhaust manifolds. But I'll just check it turns over and see. And then, yeah, check it turns over, free up injectors, free up the flat, make sure that's working, and then yeah, we'll have to do fuel and all that if everything else checks out, but it's looking good so far. Let's see if I can get it to turn over. Ooh, movement. That's all right. It turns. That's good enough for me. Turns over. It's a start. We'll just check the engine oil. Make sure it doesn't have any water sitting down the bottom. I better get a bucket. I think there might be that. There's a bit of sludge at the bottom, that's for sure. That's like grease. Yeah, how's that for oil? So you think it's all right on the dipstick, but what's down the bottom might be a lot worse. Let's have a looky. Ooh. That is not oil. Oh, we're getting there. I think we're back to real oil now. But that first lot that came out, that was terrible. And just let it sit. I've got the sump plug loosely done up there. It's just dripping some water out every now and again. So I think most of it's out now. I'd love to put new engine oil in it, but it gets a bit expensive putting new engine oil in engines that you don't know are any good. Then you can't exactly just drain it back out and put it in something else. So I'm gonna top it up with just a bit of some engine oil I got laying around once all the water's out. And because really I'm not gonna run it for too long, I'll run it for a little, I'll see if it runs, and then I'll fill the radiator up and see if it holds water or if it puts water in the sump, just so I know what I'm working with, because if it puts water in the sump I want to know about it. And yeah, we'll go from there. So while that drips any more out, we will see if this starter motor fits, I think. I'll give you guys a quick look. This is down the intake. You can actually see that that blower flap is already closed. So if I tried to start that right now, it wouldn't go because it wouldn't get any air. So I've got to make that open up. However that is, there. So I'll put that in the open position. So it looks like I can actually just reset this flap, I'm thinking. See, that's a little... I think I can put something on there and turn it. This little arm out the way, and that should let... Yeah, see? Right, so... Bang. So in the case you'd have... In case you have to do emergency shutdown, this is how it works. That solenoid would just pull this in like that, and bam, it snaps shut. So all I have, like, instead of having a bit of wood, all I have to do is push that in and it would shut it off. It would shut off air to the engine. So I'll just reset this again. Now I'm making it look difficult. I don't know how I did it the first time. There we go. Okay, now we've got injectors to do. Set up some sort of fuel, and I might do the injectors, then I can make sure it turns over with the starter motor, and then we can see if it'll start. So we're gonna do what we normally do, the old hammer and aluminium punch trick. And we're just gonna go along and free all these up and then get the rack moving, and we'll go from there. So I've just got all the injectors freed up. This was the last one to do, and the rack wouldn't move at all. It was stuck solid, nothing worked. And I freed that last injector up, and now they're freed up on both sides. So that's why on the 92, the later engines, they went to the spring-loaded rack control arms. Just if an injector ever failed, or if one was stuck, like in this case, it wouldn't lock the whole rack up. So they were stuck in full throttle, because if I push the stopper, the racks come out. So it was definitely stuck, and if it had have run, it would have run away 100%, and would have had to put the flapper down and then sort it out. But I'm pretty happy with that now. I'm going to get a board for up here anyway, just in case. And I'm going to hook these fuel lines, they're looped together, into a jerry can and a battery on it. And then I can see what it's going to do. Oh, I've got to put a manual oil pressure gauge in it, because there's no compressor. That's the feed line for the compressor. So I'm going to plumb oil pressure gauge into that, just so I can keep an eye on it. And I probably should top the oil up a bit after I've drained all that sludge out the bottom. So I'll do that, and should hopefully be able to get some action by the end of the day. Okay, I've got the injectors freed up. I've put some oil in it. Not the right stuff, but If the engine's any good, it can have a proper oil change anyway. I got a jerry can here with the fuel lines going into it. I got a manual oil pressure gauge here. So I'm just going to hook a battery up to it for a start, just one battery so it winds over slow in case it happens to fire off straight away, but I'll make sure that it turns over and there's no major issues. And then I've got my notepad there to cover the intake in case the intake flapper doesn't stop it if it does decide to run away. But I'll just lift the battery over and hook it up, and we'll just see if it turns over and if it's going to do anything. Okay, I just had to clean up the battery terminals because it wasn't quite making good connection. So now I've got to turn it over. I haven't cleaned it very long. It's in neutral though, so just make sure the rack's still free. And I've got to put a pair of vice grips on the rack. Suck up fuel by itself or not, so we'll soon find out. I'll prime the fuel with my little vacuum thing on. I just use a little cat SOS bottler, shove it up the line and vacuum through the fuel into all the filters and everything. I usually just go to the line coming out of the filter into the head. You just got to remember. Yeah, so I can go. The lift pump feeds into this fuel filter, and then it has a line going out to feed each head. So if I just undo one of these fuel lines to the head, I can vacuum it through. I just vacuumed the fuel line. We'll see if that was enough to get some fuel up into the lift pump. So I've got the feed line off to the filter, so when I turn it over, you should be able to see fuel come out of that if it's pumping. As you can see, there's no fuel. Still, that's annoying. I'll go do some more. I'll just turn it over. It's getting a little bit of smoke.
I'm getting a little bit of fuel.
Got to. As long as it's sucking it out of here.
Steve, where'd you get this fuel?
No, that's the fuel that must be in the filters.
Oh.
I use the fuel off the crusher. It might take a little while to fill up that filter too. The only reason I haven't pre-filled it is because turns out I undid the filter housing and it went off. Actually doesn't look too bad in there. Close, but it's not quite full. Yeah. See that?
What'd you do?
Stuck the fitting.
Why did you do that?
I was going to fill it up. Oh, I think I got spares.
That fast.
Yeah. Is it going?
Yep. That's better.
Whoa. I've got oil in my eyes. It runs. I like it. It sounds good. I want to drive it now. Yeah. Do you want to turn that charger off? Or just put it on charge, not engine start? The oil filter might have taken up because it wasn't leaking. Look at that, it goes. It took a little bit to get it primed, but once it was there, it actually seemed like it run all right. So it blows less smoke than the 692. The oil filter's leaking a little bit, you can see. I think the O-ring must be perished up the top because it's a canister cartridge type. But can't run it too long without water, so I'll have to join the radiator pipes together, the compressor pipes together, and fill it up with water if I want to run it longer, which I might do that. I'll see what the time is, but I'm impressed. It seems to run well. It didn't really blow too much smoke or anything, and it sounds good. They're a lot noisier without a turbo on them, but I'm impressed. I'll have a look. I'll see how bad if I can hook up the pipes and put water to it, and hopefully it doesn't put any water in the sump. Okay, so you just saw it running. We're just filling it up with water now. Got the trusty Milwaukee pump because the Fill and X right at the front. They're very difficult to fill up with the Cabover. But yeah, we're going to start it again. So I'll sit in a different spot and we'll start her up again. just had a thought that oil line might have to lubricate the gears in the back.
Oh, the one you got.
It's not hot, but there's oil back there. I just wasn't sure.
Just sour up.
Yeah.
Where's your thing? I'll just take one of your start.
Yeah, it's over there.
Oh, it's on there.
Yeah.
Ah.
I'll get one of the oil pressure and stuff. Or you can do a So there you have it, you've seen it run. I don't think it's, well, it might put water in the sump, but we'll see after the weekend. I'll check it on Monday and see what it's like, if it's still got a full radiator. It doesn't seem to be leaking externally too much. The slobber tubes aren't even dripping oil, so it already seems better than the 692 we stuck in my other W model. So yeah, but this is in preparation for looking at the grey one, because I suspect there's something wrong with the grey one, because the turbo's off it, manifold's off. It looks like someone's been pulling it down, and I don't know whether it turns over even. So I just wanted to see if this one ran, in case the grey one doesn't. I can build one good engine out of the two. I think I got a new 871 crank over there sitting on the pallet. I got that from a different auction, and it doesn't look too bad, so I should be able to build one good engine if I have to. But yeah, there you go, it runs. Here's the gear shift. I don't know what gearbox it is. Must be a, can't even read it. 11, 13 speed. 13 speed direct. 13 speed direct. And then whatever the rear end is. I don't know what rear end that is. That's, oh, it looks like it's got a tag on it. I don't know if I'll be able to read it. An Eaton something. I don't know what ratio it is, but it's kind of hard to read without cleaning it off. But yeah, that's a little look at this little Cabover. I'm definitely going to drive it because it'll be fun. It's got no compressor, so no brakes, but it'd be right to go around the paddock, I reckon. So we'll put an air cleaner on it and go for a rip around the paddock, I reckon. But that'll be next episode, because this video will be getting probably quite long. So we'll stop it here and yeah, next week we'll do a bit of work on that, and we might play with this a little bit more. I've got 2 new boosters there, there's 4 shockers, one's already on the bench over there, and there's 2 more boosters over there. So, and I've got 1 airbag to go, so the rear end will pretty much be wrapped up. I've just got that airbag there to go, the rest are all new. So yeah, new boosters, new shockers, new airbags, and then hopefully I get my steering pump and I can take it back in for, then I'll take it in for a wheel alignment, try and get the crab walking fixed, get it all sorted and driving nice, and then we'll strip the rear end for paint. Then after it's painted, we'll do all new air lines and wires, and that's the plan on that. I've possibly got a solution for the bunk that's even better than accordion boot. Hopefully work with a company about that. So yeah, I think it's going good. But anyway, thanks for tuning in and thanks for watching, and we will catch you on the next one next week. So yeah, more truck stuff, something a bit exciting this week, not just swapping out parts and boring stuff like that. Make some noise. It's the first V8 Detroit that's been in the shed, and the first Cabover Kenworth of this era really. So yeah, thanks for watching, hope you enjoy, and we'll see you on the next one.